It is Friday. Need we say the date? It is indeed a Friday the 13th. For fellow Triska Dokophobics out there, we wish you a safe and a wonderful day indeed ahead. It is Friday. That means we are off to Tavera, and it is a day that the card itself certainly has a Friday the 13th feel about it, as our analyst will tell us, Mr. Nina Podesta, in a few moments' time. But it is a bipod, a PA, pick six, and the two jackpots that may be worth catching this afternoon. We start off with our first of eight at 12:45, and of course, Nakeem Munchie will be our caller for the duration of our eight races. Stay there, wherever you are. I wish you a good start to the day. Now, let's get to our man, and that is Mr. Podesta. Mr. Podesta, race number one of many that provides and potentially has a lot of banana skins. How are you this morning?
Hi, good morning, Cecil. I'm very good on this Friday the 13th. The only problem is that we've got a very scary card to contend with.
All right, let's get it. Let's say we have to face these horrors head on. Let's get to race one. Now, we've got a recent recruit to the Gavin Smith stable, Ruby Claire. And that will be Craig Zaki aboard on local debut. They reckon that given the form it brings, should be the one they all have to beat at around evens.
Yes, look, this is an open maiden, and it's a bit of a trappy field. But Ruby Clay, the fact that it's come back in distance could be the solution here. The form behind that winner is not good. Lady is a champ. Lady is a champ, I think, took about 20 runs to break a maiden. And then she ran on Wednesday, I think, at Gravel and ran unplaced. And the horse that ran third was a horse called Walkie Talkie that ran behind Lady as a champ, I think ran third as well. So it's not the strongest of form. It can be the improver. I like a bit of number 7, Sierra Sky. I think that also, there was a bit of support for it last time. I think it's going to be right today. And then number 5, Elusive Hunter. And I'm looking for improvement from Karoo Boki. I've gone the safe route. I've taken all 4 in the bipod.
All right, so that is the bipod courtesy of Mr. Nina Podesta. It starts with that first of our 8 at 12:45. That is a race number 1, an open maiden, and that sees a local debut for number 4, Ruby Claire. All right, this is a way to win on a Friday. We're starting off a weekend of local racing in Quebec. We're on the poly track, and now we move on to race number 2. Please be reminded, of course, it is proudly sponsored by Betway, the new home of the PSL, which is just about a week away from commencement. And we're also looking ahead to a lot of feature races leading up to the Summer Cup at the end of November. Let's get back to Mr. Nina Podesta shortly, but we're going to have a look at the betting for race 2, and I see our computer form friends have made the favorite in race number 2 at Fairview their best bet. Take a Mulligan, who is at 17-10. The 5, a Crimson Comet, is at 3-1. 4-1, the 6, Lennox Town. And then the 1, a Lord Capulet, has been enabled at into 9-2, and also a little bit of a nibble on the 3, Camaria, into 11-2. 25s and better bar those. Well, Take a Mulligan has met quite a few of these on recent outings behind Island Master. And I think the closest that got to our friend was number 5, a Crimson Comet, who was more fancied than a Take a Mulligan on that occasion. Worthy favourite in race number 2, Mr. Podesta?
Well, I think he's the right horse as the favourite, but he's been disappointing. And you know what? I always thought that he would be a better horse on the turf, but he did run a good race last time on the poly. And I think Crimson Comet is 2 kilos better off on that run. But you know what, Cecil, I'm looking at number 6 here, Lennox Town, this well-bred horse. He's a full brother to Heathcliff, and that I'm expecting to improve leaps and bounds over the extra 600 meters. So that's my first choice, and probably a each way selection at 4-1 to beat Have a Mulligan and Crimson Comet.
All right, so that is the story. That'll be 6 from the 2 and the 5 in order of preference. That's the PA, courtesy of Nino, and that starts with race 2 at 13:20. Well, good news for those who love their league action. The international break is the thing of the past for now, but it will be back to haunt us in a few weeks. So we can look ahead to the big London derby. And of course, that is Arsenal and Tottenham should be a great affair indeed. But let's talk about racing. And on to race number 3, the first leg of the Pick 6. This is a Racing 244 Racing. And it will be a Fillies and Mares 68, rendering it our first handicap of the afternoon. 1900 meters is a trip, and we have a 17 to 10 favorite in the form of the 2. Get it done. Number 6, Hugs and High Fives. That is at 33 to 10. 4 to 1, the 5, Breed Baby. The 1, A Light of Day, 9 to 2. There was a nibble for the 4, Karandi, into 15 to 2. Right, this is the first leg of the Pick 6, Mr. Podesta. 1900 the trip. Get it done. Sharon Constant and Lewin Clotwa team up. It's had the 22 runs for 4 wins, and as far as the poly is concerned, from 11 runs, so 1 of those wins has been forthcoming on the poly track. What are we doing here? Race number 3.
Well, the punters have to decide here. Look, this horse Get It Done. If he stays the 1900, he will win. And I don't see why he shouldn't. It's by Ideal World. But when I look at the course and distance stats, I see 5 runs, right? 5 runs and only 1/4 out of the 5 runs over course and distance. So that's a bit of a concern. I'm looking on number 1, the newcomer, Light of Day. He ran behind Reckless Love and Cerulean Dancer. And I think he will love the 1900 as he did in Durban on the Durban poly. After that, Cecil, it's a nightmare. Any of the others can win. You've got the Gulf for Africa, Quarandi, Breeder Baby, and Hugs and High 5. I don't think 7 and 8 can win, but all the others, if Get It Done fluffs these lines, all the others have got a chance.
So you've decided to stay out of the Pick 6s. You've given us a Pick 3, and that is 1, 2 by 1, 3 by 2, 3, and 7, an outlay of 12 Rand. And that also sees the start of the Pick 6. Once again, a reminder, 13:55 is the start to race number 3. Right, we're into our first jackpot. That starts with race number 4. This is a tab telebet 0861000822. Merit rated 72, and we drop back in trip to 1600 meters. We've got the scratching of the 6 American Dream in race number 4. That leaves us a field of 9. Now, Mr. Podesta, I'll be coming to you shortly. The 3, Aguera, last time I've seen on the turf, is at 39 to 20. Number 4, Lieutenant Alexander, has been shortened in to 4 to 1 from the 5 to 1. Number 10, Windsock, is at 9 to 2. Number 5, Scampton, 13 to 2. Also 13 to 2 is the 7 Launch Code. The 9, Fujisan, is at 13 to 2. The 17 to 2 rather, and then it's the 1 Euphoric, and that's where I'm going to stop. 19 to 2 along with the 8 Meet at the Windsor. I don't know why, but I just feel that we've got a bit of value in this race. I hope that I've read your mind before I even talk to you. Euphoric looks to be the one they will have to beat, and good each way bet there.
Yes, and I can't understand why the horse is at such a big price. I mean, just have a look at his course and distance stats. 18 runs, 4 wins, 6 seconds, and 3 thirds. And he's getting the 1.5 kilos.
And
So-
that's 6.5 lengths to, I think, one of the award winners recently at the Eastern Cape Awards. That is Zatara Magic.
Correct. And he's been running against much stronger. Have a look, Zatara Magic, my best shot. That is a very good horse in PD, a top horse, and also a Fateful Day. And, you know, it's either 1 and 3 or you got to go the field. Number 3 is a very tough customer. Richard Fourie is going to have his hands full with it. If he can get Guerra to settle, then she's going to be competitive. So I think it's between 1 and 3. If I'm wrong, then you got to go field. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Nino. That is the first jackpot getting underway at 2:30. And look out for that value. It's now 19 to 2. Last night it was 10 to 1. It's now 19 to 2. And that is an amount of Mr. Donald Geertsen teaming up with Jacques Strydom. Goes by the name Euphoric. Well, should be some very good betting on that North London derby. And being a Tottenham supporter, we're obviously looking for a good value. Obviously, we'll be seen as underdogs to last year's runner-ups in the EPL. So looking forward to good value. We will be going on to our Betway site to see what we can put together for some of the matches over the weekend. Let's get back to that first leg of the second jackpot. This is off at what time that is? 3:05, and this is the merit rated 87. So we are going up in grade. And let's have a look at the betting. We've got the 7 Destiny's Angel. That is now at 12-10. It's a 3-1 in from 7-2, the 2 Kingdom of Heaven. Turbits, the 3, 4-1, 4-1, the 4 Central City, the 1 Dowser, 10-1, 11s, and a better bar those. Again, with no disrespect at all to the connections of the runners on the card this afternoon. This is one of the better cards that one of the better races on the card at Fairview on the party today, Mr. Podesta.
Yeah, it's a bit better than the others, and but there is a horse that I like very strong here in this race. But we'll come to that one now. Let's just start with Destiny's Angel. He's never run over course and distance, and the horses that he met in his last 3 runs, Gunsmoke, Spec Magic, and Empire Blue, I don't think are strong enough for him to be a good thing in this race. I like number 2, Kingdom of Heaven. Now put a line through his last run over the Fairview 1600 on the turf, and look at his poly run. He ran second, beaten a nostril by the Mauritian, and then he beat No Place Like Home that ran a good race, given it 2 kilos. I'm very strong with the Kingdom of Heaven. I make the danger number 3, Turpit. He's run behind Barbaresco. He ran behind Prevalence in the feature last time, finishing strongly. And I think that's the nearest danger, but I'm very, very strong with the Kingdom of Heaven to open up the first leg of the second jackpot.
But I see you've hedged your bets there, 3 and 7 as well.
Yeah, because I studied, I did the tips very late last night, and then I restudied again this morning. And then I know, I did the tips very late for Daryl last night. I had to send him early in the morning.
Okay. Right, so that is an outlay of 180 as it is. You divide that by 3 if you're going to take the banker route, and that is the 2 Kingdom of Heaven in race number 5. From an 87, we come down to a 68 for race number 6, and the trip will be 1,400 meters. The first leg of the last big 3 gets underway at a 20-4, and here we've got the 1 Travel Master now shortened into 18-10 from the 2-1, 24-10 about the 3 Guarding the Wall, 7 Duke of Orange, 9-2, 5-1 the 4 James Fitzjames. Number 6 Kings as Sailors at 11-1 is 13-1, and better about those. Well, if memory serves me right, Guarding the Wall was all the rage recently. That was on the 2nd of September, which would render that as that last week. And of course, you've got your friend James Fitzjames. You were very bullish when it won. It's a maiden, and we did well by you. Backed into 2-1. That was the SP. Went off as favourite. What sort of a chance would you give James post maiden?
I would give it a place chance because there's 2 horses here that I like very strong, and I think they will fight it out. But if those 2, again, don't come to the party, then I think anything else can win it. The horse that I do like is number 5, Guarding the Wall. Now, ignore the last run with the blinkers on. I believe the blinkers are off today. Can you check if the blinkers are off?
The blinkers are certainly off. When I looked at it last night, and I will go back and just see that there hasn't been a change of mind with the blinkers on James on Guarding the Wall. And the story is that the blinkers are definitely off. No sign of any return.
Well, that's very, very good to know because he was very keen and was doing too much up front, and the blinkers did not suit him last time. So I'm going to give him one more chance today with the blinkers off, and the only danger I can see is number 1, Travel Master. So an absolute boat race for me. If those 2 don't win, then anything else can win. So you either go 1 and 5 or you go field.
Thank you, Nino. 1 and 5 in that first leg of the last big 3. About 1, 2, 3. And then the field at the back. He hasn't put in the scratching, but I'd say put in the scratching. There's a pretty keen favorite in the form of Cruzador in race number 8. All right, so we are getting into the first leg of the last double racing today. Meritred at 80. It's over the 1,200 meters. A field of 11 assembled. No scratchings as we prepare for this afternoon's first race at Quebec's Fairview Racecourse. Now, as far as the betting is concerned in race number 7 rather. Race 8 will be the conclusive event. Race 7, the first leg of that last double, and of the betting has the 3 Siberian Steel at 15 to 4 from 4 to 1. Number 1 at Tony T is at 4 to 1. 9 to 2, the 5 Bethel. 11 to 2, Enable About the 9 Abound. At 10, a Strawberry Stinger. That's also a recent recruiter to the Gavin Smith stable, formerly with Harold and Michelle in the Western Cape. That's Harold Crawford and Michelle Ricks. It's at 10 to 1 and a better bar those. Now, I hope you heard me say at the end of our last insert, I used my editorial power and I said, do put in the scratchings. Unaware that there are 2 scratchings now in the back, race number 8, Nino.
Yes, 2. There's another one. I think number 4 has been scratched.
That's right. That's right. So maybe they could treble up. But let's talk about race number 7. Strawberry Stinger, any word on a local debut? Have you heard any whispers?
No, nothing at all, Cecil. But, it ran a good race 2 runs back to Winter Waves. First time in PE, I think you must keep your eye on it. And if you're going wide, you obviously have to include it. Bethel, I think, is better over the 1,000, so I haven't included that. I think she's a out and out 1,000-meter specialist. So it comes down to Siberian Steel being the horse to beat. His best run was over course and distance 3 runs back when he ran 3/4 of a length behind Joe Cat, and that form has been franked. Donny T's carrying a lot of weight, but I just want you to have a look at this horse, Whatever Next.
I'm looking at it now. I'm looking at it right now.
Have a look on the 9th of January when it beat Donny T by 4 lengths, and she's 3 kilos better off. And to me, that sounds very strange that Donny T is the second favorite, and Whatever Next is the last horse in the betting. So they shouldn't be so far apart in the betting. So Siberian Steel to beat Whatever Next and Donny T. But after those 3, please load up horses like that one that you mentioned from Durban. Strawberry Stinger can win. Tuscan Gold can cause an upset. And even Abound can cause an upset.
All right. So that is Whatever Next. That could be the value play of this Friday. That has been a look at the last double. Getting out of the way with a Meritred at 80 over the distance of 1,200 meters. Off time, 4:15.